Hi friends, and welcome back to another chaotic book video. This video is going to be literally every book that I have ever read and if I think you should read it. So obviously I don't want to keep you here for like 4 hours, so what we're going to do is just do it kind of briefly, be super brief on every single book. Should you read it? Yes or no? Why? Okay. So it's not gonna be a rambling thing, so please do not let me ramble today. Let's get all these books moved behind me. We're not gonna go in the order that I read them simply because, I mean, you can't even see the whole stack. Like, I am not going through these and putting them in order. There's absolutely no freaking way. So I'll probably just keep them in the stacks that they're in and we'll just randomly pick up a book. So let me stop talking because we have over 200 books to discuss right now. No, because this is actually so intimidating. I honestly feel like it's easier to start with the books that I don't own. Either I read it on my Kindle, I had the paperback, got rid of it, whatever the case may be. I don't own them, but I still want to discuss them because they are books that I read. Okay, so our first book is going to be The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, and I did not like this book whatsoever. I hear a lot of people do, but it wasn't for me, so. Okay, next up is going to be the 50 Shades of Grey trilogy by E.L. James, and I would not recommend those books to anyone. I'm gonna be quite honest. I absolutely despise those books. There was no plot. It was literally just, you know what 50 Shades is basically all about, and that was literally it. So there was no plot, no character growth. It was very boring. I did not like it. Next is going to be Layla by Colleen Hoover. I felt very indifferent towards that book because the plot felt very messed up and weird, but it also kept me guessing the whole time. So I'm very indifferent towards it. Wouldn't really recommend it though. And then next is going to be In 5 Years by Rebecca Surley, I believe you pronounce that. Literally don't remember that book, so. Okay, hold on, because if we keep going that route, we're gonna talk a lot of crap. So Happy Place by Emily Henry. Absolutely freaking love this book. She is the queen of summer. If you have not read her, what are you doing? The next book is going to be The Do-Over by Lynn Painter, and I thought this book was very, very cute, very, very fast-paced. And honestly, like, a lot of people don't like the Groundhog Day situations because it's very repetitive, but I really enjoyed it. Betting on You by Lynn Painter. I did not like this book whatsoever. I think it was the excessive amount of Swiftie type things in here. I can't really remember, but I did not like it. Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. This book is literally everything. I squealed, I kicked my feet. I was so giddy reading this book, and I will definitely be rereading it sometime in the future just because Liz and Wes, I love them to pieces. My Dark Romeo by Parker S. Huntington and L.J. Sheen. Absolutely not. There is a scene in this book that is absolutely disgusting. I literally wanted to puke. It is the nastiest thing I've ever heard of. And the girl that did it, she's literally crazy because who even thinks to do something like that? No, absolutely not. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I really love this book. I have yet to watch the movie because I have heard so many things about it and I don't want it to be ruined for me because I did truly think this was a beautiful story. I know a lot of people don't like Colleen Hoover, but a good book is a good book and I love this book, so yeah. Next is going to be Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings, and I actually considered not reading this series whatsoever after this book. I did not like it. If you are into fashion and you want to know every single thing that every single character is wearing, read this book. Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. I freaking love this book. Like, Daisy is my soul character. I love her to pieces, and she really made me question, like, okay, like I hated book 1, but book 2 is so good. So obviously I continued. And then I ended up absolutely loving Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home, which really shocked me, but it was different. I kind of got to understand her and BJ Moore's characters, and I really enjoyed that. But then we read Daisy Hates the Great Undoing, and I just didn't really care for it, which surprised me because it's a Daisy book, so I kind of expected, hey, I'm gonna love it, but I did not. And then last and least is Magnolia Park Into the Dark. This was my least favorite book of the entire series. It is the most repetitive thing I've ever read, and I did not like it. Mr. Wrong Number by Lynn Painter. Guys, I love the way she does a rom-com, and this book was like literally my favorite I've read from her to date because it was just so cute. Like, obviously you know what's going on, Mr. Wrong Number, and it was just the most fun mixed turn of events, and I absolutely loved her. You With a View by Jessica Joyce. I would definitely recommend it because it is really cute, but it was not a favorite, but it is really cute. The Summer I Turned Pretty series by Jenny Han. Absolutely not. It is the most frustrating thing ever. The love triangle, I can't stand it. Just no. After by Anna Todd. Absolutely not, unless you literally want a repetitive relationship between these two people that can't pull their heads out of their own butts and figure out what they want. Things I Wanted to Say But Never Did by Monica Murphy. I literally wish you would have never said them because this book is so degrading and I hate the male character in here. He just talks to the female like a piece of garbage and yuck. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This book is literally everything. I have a special edition of her on the way and I'm so excited because this book is also the Queen of Summer. I really feel like she stole my summer with this book, but Happy Place was my Queen of Summer last year, so I guess this is the new Queen of Summer. Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. I did not like this book at all. The FMC was very, very annoying. She was just like way too excited about literally everything. If it rained, she screamed. Like, I just could not stand it. Body Check by Tegan Hunter. I freaking love this book. She writes the best hockey and I will never get over it. Am I going too fast? Where the Crawdads Sing. I freaking love this book and the movie did it so much justice. So if you've been curious about the movie or you watched the movie and you're curious about the book, I would definitely read it. I thought it was so, so good and Kaya's story was just so beautiful. Daisy Jones and the Mother Frickin' Six by frickin' Taylor Jenkins frickin' Reid is literally the best frickin' thing you've ever read in your entire life. And if you don't read it, you're crazy. It's so good. The show is literally an absolute masterpiece. Please read it. Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I didn't really like this book. He had a goat in it. It was really cute. Haunting Adeline. I loved it, okay? Hunting Adeline. Didn't love it as much, but it was still okay. Please read the trigger warning before you look at either of those books. One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I think I said that right. Slow ride, but it gets really crazy and really interesting, so push your way through it and you'll really like it, I think. The Mindfuck series by St. Abby. Literally so addictive and so good, and it just has you like wanting to go on and on and on. I thought this book was going to take me so long because I mean she's pretty thick, but I literally sped through it. I think I read it in a day or two and I would recommend it to any and everybody, especially if you like badass FMCs. Mile High. Questionable at first, but I ended up loving it. It was super fun, super smutty, and super cute. A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. Did not like it. It could have been so much better. I feel like this book had so much potential, especially with the plot idea, but not a fan. The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. Literal perfection. I love this book with everything in me. She is tabbed all the way up. It's just such a cute little ghost story. It's perfect for Halloween, spooky vibes type vibe. Yeah. The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. My favorite Ashley Poston to date. I mean, she's tabbed up. This book is crazy. I literally have every single sentence underlined and I love them so much. It was so perfect. Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. Absolutely amazing. I love this book. The way it made me sob and scream and just go through every single emotion in the book was so fun. Even the crying, it was fun. I loved it. Tragic, but beautiful. Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. Mwah, literally one of my favorite books. The way it touches on mental health is absolutely beautiful, and I feel like if you're looking for books that are real like that and really in depth and raw, this is for you. So what are you doing? Come on. The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. Read it. Read it. It literally is what got me hooked on Enemies to Lovers. Adam is such a little turd, but we love him. Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I literally thought this book was going to become my everything because the title, like, come on, book lovers. I did not like it. I do want to give her another chance just because it's Emily Henry and I literally love almost every other Emily Henry, so I think I just read this at a bad time. Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. Literally one of my least favorite books ever. I was really enjoying it because, I mean, what's your favorite word? You. That's so cute. And then the ending. What he did, his excuse, absolutely not. Goodbye. And I will die on that hill. I know everybody disagrees with me, but sorry, not changing my mind. The Knock 'Em Out series by Lucy Score. Literally did not like any of them. Bleh, bleh. Evidence of the Affair by Taylor Jenkins Reid. If you want something super quick in a different format, I would definitely recommend this one. It's literally all in letters composed back and forth between this these people that are getting cheated on and their significant others cheating, and that's how they met. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's really interesting, really cool, would recommend it. People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I did not like this book either. It's being adapted into a film or a TV show, I can't remember which, so I am gonna try to give her another chance because I know a lot of people do love this book, but when I read it, I just was not feeling it. Puck Shy by Tegan Hunter, one of my favorite hockey books to date because this was the beginning of the Carolina Comets and I absolutely love that series with everything in me. So this book will always be a favorite. I love her. If you have not read her and you like hockey, read it. Blind Pass by Tegan Hunter, book 2 in Carolina Comments, literal gold. I love this book. One Timer by Tegan Hunter, literal gold, 5 stars. This whole series is so utterly amazing. If I haven't convinced you yet, then I cannot do my job. Sin Bin by Tegan Hunter, 5 stars. I literally loved Sin Bin. It was so, so good. The steam in it, the freaking conversation, the found family, the enemies to lovers, the friends to lovers. There's literally everything in these books. Read it. Okay, and I'm starting to get aggressive. Scoring Chance, Tegan Hunter, 5 stars. Please read it. Glove Save, Tegan Hunter, part of the Carolina Comments series. Literal perfection. I love her. I'm trying to think of something else to say, but I mean, girls, it's hockey, it's romance, it's literally everything to me. Neutral. Neutral Zone, Tegan Hunter. I mean, come on. This book was so beautiful. The way it tied the entire series together just made my life feel so utterly complete. And I will definitely be rereading this entire series at some point because they never leave my mind. They're some of my favorites and I just want everybody to read them. Beach Read by Emily Henry. This is why I call her the Queen of Summer. Between Happy Place and Beach Read, they're just the embodiment of summer reading, summer books, summer love, literally everything summer. And this book was just so utterly beautiful. I would recommend it to any and everybody. I still talk about it and I read it over 2 years ago. So take that as you will. King of Wrath. Absolutely. It's very, very spicy. Dante Russo was like one of my favorite guys that Anna has created other than Christian Harper. King of Pride. Wouldn't recommend it. I did not like Kai whatsoever. King of Greed. I found it very, very boring. I don't even remember who is in this book, what happens in this book, but I did read it. The Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Also, another really good TV adaptation. If you have not read it, you're crazy. What are you doing? I know you've seen the show on Netflix. Get it together, girl. Come read this because it's so, so good and it keeps you so hooked the entire time. And I'm not even kidding. Like, this book never lost my interest. And then I quickly read after that Good Girl, Bad Blood. Also would recommend 1,000 times. This whole series, this was my favorite. It's so good. As Good as Dead. This series is so, so good. Carolina Comments bonus content. Okay, you thought I was done. LOL. No, I'm not. This is a bonus content. It came out like a few months after I finished the series, I think. Like 2 or 3 months after. Literally everything. The side story in here, Game Changer, it wasn't like, I know that's crazy because I talk so highly of Carolina Comments, but I didn't really care for Game Changer, but the bonus content in itself was perfect. The Road Not Taken by Emily Tudor, literally so stunning. I look at sunrises different. I look at sunsets different. Like, this book has stuck with me. It was so beautiful and it was so like validating, I guess you could say. It's just, I felt a lot of things that the character in this book felt and it just made me feel like validated and I love that. Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. I have never hurt so badly. I have never swooned so much. I went through literally every emotion imaginable to mankind. I have never sobbed the way I did with these books. It's just like those from the gut. Like, you are dying, but in the best way possible. Keeping 13. Now, this book, I sobbed even harder than the first, and you would think that's impossible, but it's not. I'm telling you because I did it and I lived it and it was awful, but this book is so amazing and I'm itching to get back to this series because of how good it is. You hear about it all the time. I know you do. Listen, it's good. It's amazing. Please read the trigger warnings first because, ow. The Summer of Falling by Casey Tyler. I also really loved this book this summer. It was very, very fun and the ending was so like nonchalant but beautiful. Like, it's not thrown in your face, but it's there and you take it as you will, and I took it and I loved it and it was amazing. So good. Coraline. I loved this movie as a child and growing up I still watch it. I literally watched it yesterday. This book was a lot creepier than the movie, which the movie is very creepy, but this was even creepier. So if you want to be scared, it's so good. The drawings in here are absolutely crazy too. It's very terrifying. Time for You by Renee Harless. I don't remember it at all. The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F was absolutely amazing. I highlighted literally so many things in that book because it just spoke to me, and the way it just talked about not giving a single crap and worrying about number one and all that stuff. I don't know. It was really good, really inspiring. It was cute. Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Literally Kai and Peyton for life. I love them so much. This is honestly one of my favorite fantasies that I've read. I've only read like a few, but this is one of my favorite. Powerful, which is going to be the novella that comes after Powerless, and this book wrecked me. Like, it literally hurt the entire time, but it was so beautiful. She's even tabbed up and she's literally a baby. Like, look at her. She's so tiny and cute. I love her. Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I will be sitting here just like this until Fearless gets to my door because I literally need to know what happens next. I did not expect the ending whatsoever. I was flabbergasted. I still am. I need the other book. Flawless by Elsie Silver. This series is literally everything. Heartless by Elsie Silver. Powerless by Elsie Silver. Reckless by Elsie Silver. Hopeless by Elsie Silver. Literally all of them are so, so beautiful, and I've never loved cowboys so much in my life. If you want to fall in love with a Western man with a Southern drawl, Chestnut Springs. Like, come on, what are you doing? Everybody talks so highly of Elsie Silver, and for a reason. Float by Kate Marchant. Literally cannot remember it at all, but I know that I was super bored reading it. The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. I know it was very, very quick, but that's about it. It was interesting, to say the least. Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I need to read Ruthless Vows. I don't know what I've been doing. This book was so, so good, and I absolutely loved their story and getting to watch it build. And it was just so good. Why have I not read Ruthless Vows? There's really no reason. Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I missed her so much after Chestnut Springs, so getting to dive into this was so, so nice, and I loved it so much. Rosie and Ford, perfection. I love them. The List of Things by Emma Miller. So freaking good. Bellamy is him. There is no better man. Literally. Pros and Cons of Us by Emma Miller, the second book, and this book is for Lawson and Sienna. And honestly, I think they were my favorite couple. Like, they were just so cute, but Emma Miller can't write a bad character. Like, she genuinely cannot. So I really, really love this book. Addicted to You by Krista and Becky Ritchie. I was questionable at first. I really do love Lillian Lowe, but I was questionable when I first started it because they kind of had like Magnolia and BJ problems. Like, they have issues, but it was so beautiful that I could not read more of their story. Which is why I picked up Ricochet by Krista and Becca Ritchie, because I missed their story. This one was really, really fun. I really enjoyed it. I really need to continue this series. I haven't. I don't know why. There Are No Saints by Sophie Lark. Literally so freaking good. The best dark romance that I think I've ever read. I was obsessed. I could not put it down. I finished it in like a day. So good. And all of her books are like that. If you need a quick read, Sophie Lark. There Is No Devil. I didn't like it as much as There Are No Saints, but I absolutely loved it and I would recommend it still. Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Literally one of my favorite books. I love it so much. Violet and Xaden are just built different and I absolutely love them. The chemistry between them, the angst between them, everything about them is so perfect and I really love this book so, so much. The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. This book was so cute. I absolutely loved it. Nathan just like stuck out to me as a character. I think the girl's name was Brie. Yeah, okay, so Brie and Nathan, I just love them so, so much. This is the cutest little rom-com, sports romance type deal going on, and Sarah Adams books also read very fast, so. Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. I honestly expected more of this book, but I did really enjoy it. I just expected more. When in Rome. I also really love this one. I'm pretty sure I liked it more than Practice Makes Perfect, because it was really, really good. And just the plot behind it was really fun. Tilly Cole, 1,000 Boy Kisses. I will die with this book wrapped around me because this book is literally everything. It broke me into 1,000 pieces and then glued me back together, barely, and then shattered me some more, but I love her. Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinbrough. I actually read this book with my mom and it was really, really fun. And then we watched the TV series and that was also really fun. So if you're looking for a thriller, this girl crazy type vibe, Second Chance with the Billionaire. I honestly don't remember much about this book, but I do remember it being cute. I just can't really remember why or anything like that. Confess by Colleen Hoover. I actually really did like this book. It was very good, but I don't really think about it anymore, if that makes sense. But it was cute and it has some art in it and I love books with art. If He Had Been With Me. I absolutely love this book, but reflecting back on it, I just had a lot of questions. I was like, did you really feel the need to do this and this and this? And then those questions carried on over to If Only I Had Told Her, because this book was very, very depressing and I wish I never read it. I wish I would have left their story at book 1 because it was so much more beautiful then, and this just made it traumatic and sad and scary. I didn't like it. The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. It was okay. That's about all I can say about that. It did have a twist in it that made me start screaming and I was like, okay, this is getting so good, but I don't think about it. I'm not rushing to read the other ones, so it wasn't that great. The Summer of Broken Rules. I literally did not like the book, but I can't remember why I didn't like that book. I think maybe there was a love triangle in it. Don't quote me on that. I don't know, I just didn't like it. Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. It was okay. I just felt like it was far-fetched if I remember correctly, and I hate when thrillers are far-fetched. I want them to make sense perfectly so I can be like, oh, how did I not see that? The Sorcerer's Stone, Harry Potter, absolutely loved it. It got me addicted to this series, and I'm so glad because I waited so long to actually be open-minded to reading these, and I can't believe I did that because they're so good. Harry Potter, The Chamber of Secrets. This book quickly took #1 spot because I really, really enjoyed Chamber of Secrets and just seeing more of Hermione and Ron and getting to know all these characters. It was very beautiful. The movie was even better. I don't know if the movie was better. Prisoner of Azkaban. This movie was really, really good, as was the book. Yeah. Goblet of Fire. Now this book has absolutely topped every single other one that I've read. This is my favorite Harry Potter right now, but it honestly wasn't my favorite movie. Like the adaptation, I just feel like it left out so much, like shockingly so. I was like, are you seriously not gonna add that or that? Wait, what about that? Like it was ridiculous, but the book was really, really good. Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young was absolutely everything. I think about this book every time I wake up, every time I go to sleep. This book literally is the center of my life. I loved it so much. Bo and Win just have this beautiful love that is so rare, even in books. Like, I don't know, something was so freaking beautiful about this and the realness of it, and just the way these two connected and bonded. I loved it so much. Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. This book actually took me a while to get like invested into it, but once I did, it was so good. The ending was absolutely insane. Like I truly don't know what to expect when the Ankh Storms comes out, because what? Like how could that happen? Why would you let that happen? How are you going to fix it? Like get it together. Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. So good. Her dark romances, guys, are just so good, and Cal is like king. We love him. So yeah, if you're looking for a dark romance, something very quick-paced, mafia romance. Stolen Heir. This is a kidnapping romance, which was super fun. Steal her away, make her love you. We love that. Yeah, it was really good. I love Sophie Lark, and I love how fast her books read. Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. This book was literally everything. I had been eyeing it after I saw it literally on everybody's Instagram, and I was just like, okay, we're finally gonna read her. She was perfect, gave all the yeehaw vibes. I loved it. Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. Did not like as much. It was okay. It just didn't give me everything I wanted. I'm just waiting for Lost and Lassoed because that's like the character that I really want his book. The 7.5 Deaths of Eveline Hardcastle. This book is so fun. It's so interactive, and it keeps you guessing the whole time because the plot is just so weird and so different. I literally love this book. I think about it all the time. It was so good. I honestly will probably reread it at some point because of how much I loved it. But if you want something that's literally like this guy's going from body to body to body to try to stop a murder and you only have a certain amount of time, like it's so fun. Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. Literally could not tell you the first thing that happens in this book. I didn't even like it that much when I read it, and looking back on it, I still don't really like it. The Promise of Midnight. I really loved this novella. It was very fun, and the way it gave the feels of the Fae made me very excited, but I did not continue the series because I DNF'd the first book. But the novella was really good. He Sang to Me by Casey Tyler. That book was really cute. I found it very bingeable, very easy to read. Broadway, not typically my thing, but I love the way she did it. Christmas in Quincy by Devney Perry. When I read this little novella, I was like, okay, I'm going to love this series, and I was not wrong, like whatsoever. The series has taken over my life. Indigo Ridge by Devney Perry. 4 stars, a murder mystery romance. I'm sorry, what? Can I have more, please? Give me 14 of them. Juniper Hill, Devney Perry. Nothing has ever been quite as beautiful as this. The way that these two love each other and step up for each other was the most heartwarming thing ever. If you've ever heard anybody scream about this book, it's because it's literally perfection. It's so good. It's so beautiful. It just makes me swoon so hard. Garnet Flats by Devney Perry. He's a UFC fighter. Do I need to say more? He's so cool. We have a second chance romance. It was so fun. I loved it. Jasper Vale. Honestly, my least favorite of the series so far, but it was good. Just wasn't my favorite. Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. This book was so beautiful. I know a lot of people don't like it, which is crazy to me because I thought Archer was just like the most perfect, sweet human ever. And the way Bree just like blended with him, it was so beautiful, and I love their story so much. So I would recommend it. I don't know what everybody else is saying, but I would recommend it. A Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks. I've literally read the book, I have watched the movie, but I can't remember anything but one key essential part, so it was sad. That's about all I can tell you. A Merry Little Meet Cute. The looks are going to be deceiving, girl. You think this is about to be the cutest little Christmas story? It is so PG-13 and like absolutely crazy. I liked it, I enjoyed it, but it was not what I was expecting, like, at all. Just Haven't Met You Yet. I absolutely could not stand the FMC. She was very, very delusional in an unhealthy manner, and I was just like, girl, somebody needs to help you out because you're tripping. Homebody by Rupi Kaur. This is a poem book, and honestly, like, can we go ahead and talk about all the poem books because I don't rate them, but I enjoyed all of these. Milk and Honey, the princess saves herself in this one. This is my favorite one. The Sun and Her Flowers, that one was also beautiful. Milk and Honey, Homebody. We love poems. Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. Please do not ask me why this book is so tabbed. I have no idea. I did not like it at all. She was also very delusional, which makes me realize Tessa Bailey writes a lot of delusional girls. It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. I absolutely loved Piper and Brendan so much. This was such the seaside story that I wanted at the time, and it was so beautiful. I still think about them sometimes. I thought the plot was really fun, and the vibes that these two gave as a couple was super cute. So yeah. Now Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. It took me forever to finish this book. I initially DNF'd it, but then I went back and finished it. And it was very hard to do so because I was not into it. The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Literally Criminal Minds. If you like Criminal Minds, this is literally it. So read her. It's so fun and very different. It's very unique, the plot line is, and I just thought it was so fun. Before We Were Strangers. I did not like this book, and I genuinely can't tell you a single thing about it. I read it this year and I still don't remember. Okay, and in a mass list real quick, Never Lie, The Locked Door, The Perfect Son, The Gift, One by One, all by Frida McFadden. I genuinely love Frida McFadden so much. She's only done wrong about one time, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But all these were super good, super bingeable, very easy thrillers. They always like are making you like, what is going on? The Gift is very, very weird. Just gonna throw that out there, but they're all really good. The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. If you want to go to Disney and just be stuck in Disney and do literally only Disney things and it literally feel like you're at Disney, this book is for you. I am not that big of a fan of Disney. I know there's a lot of people that are. If you are, you're probably gonna like it. I hated it. Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. This book was better. It was better, but I still don't remember a thing about it, but I know it was better. Final Offer by Lauren Asher. This was the best book of the series, which is crazy, but it was so good. I was very proud of myself for making it all the way to the end, and I was rewarded by a beautiful story because these two were without a doubt my favorite characters in the book. But the other two were just like, nah. Guys, we still have so many books to discuss right now. A Court of Thorns and Roses, literally so good. The only reason I did not give this book 5 stars is because I heard how great the second book is, but I honestly, thinking back, would give this book 5 stars. It's so good, it lives rent-free in my head, and I will never get over it. A Court of Mist and Fury. Way better than the first one, but still the first one was beautiful, but this one is just, there's so much of the story that stems from within this book, and a lot of it comes off what things happen in this book. I said that really weird, but this book is so good. Court of Rings and Ruin. Literally my favorite out of the series. It was so beautiful and so chaotic. Like, oh, I just remembered that one chapter and I literally almost freaking died. I almost died. I was going through it, girls. It was crazy. A Court of Frost and Starlight. I don't remember a single thing that happens in this book. Like, I know what we're doing, but I was just bored. I was like, get me back to the madness. And then I went back, A Court of Silver Flames. I absolutely hated this book. I cannot stand Nesta as a character. I know I'm the outsider with that. A lot of people love her. I cannot stand her. I hated this book. It was so long. Bleh. The Spanish Love Deception. I really love this book because it is a fake dating book and I love fake dating. So I thought it was super fun. I read it in the pool, so she is like, she's kind of gone through it, but I absolutely loved it. I thought it was super cute, but it's been a while since I read it, so I can't tell you too much. The Reappearance of Rachel Price. This book was so fun. I think Holly Jackson as an author is just so talented, and I need to read more of her books because I've loved every single one of them. Tender is the Flesh. This book is so freaking weird, but so grabbing. Like, if you start reading it, you're not gonna be able to stop, even though it's so weird, because you want to figure out like what's going on. The Silent Patient by Alex, I don't know. Yeah, it was really good, but really freaking weird at the same time. When I found out the end and what happened, I was just absolutely baffled by the fact, and I honestly kind of want to reread it because I can't remember everything about it, but I remember a good bit, but not everything. I don't know, it was really good. Butcher and Blackbird by Brian Weaver. Girl, I wish I knew how to say your name because you killed it. This book was everything. I am so twisted in the head after reading this, but in the best way possible. It's so good. The Inheritance Games. I was quite bored. Didn't think I would continue this series, but I did, and I love this one so much more than the first one. So I recommend, if you don't like the first one, push yourself through it because this one was really good. But a lot of people like the first one, so take that as you will. Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. Okay. Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. This book was so beautiful, but I was literally screaming the entire time because the female character needs something in this book and they won't give it to her, and I was just like, give it to her. You know, like that's literally how I was. Sorry for the scary jump scare, but like that was me in this book the whole time. Twisted Love. I literally fell in love with Alex. He was so amazing, and I love, like, this was my first Anna book. So when I read it, I was like, what a queen. Like the way she writes men. Twisted Games is the second book in that series, and it's a lot of people's favorite. I didn't really like it. It was a bodyguard times royalty romance, and I know those are very popular. I feel like reading it now I would feel different, but when I did read it, wasn't a fan. Twisted Hate. Absolutely love this. Josh is such a baddie. I love him so much. You're probably not supposed to call guys baddies, but I did. I loved him, so it was good. And then the last book in the series, Christian motherfucking Harper. I love this book with everything in me. I will die before I ever say I hate Christian Harper. I love him with everything in me. He gives me life. He is the best Anna boy to date, closely followed by Dante Russo, but he is him. I don't care if you skip the rest of the series and you only read this one. Read this book. Baggage Claim by Juliana Smith was so good. It was one of my favorite winter reads. I read it probably about 2 years ago, but I loved it and it was so cute. Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book was so good, but like different from my normal good. It's one of those stories that tells you the end of the story as it begins, and you have to figure out, well, how the heck did we get here? And the way she tied it all together was so good. Taylor just knows how to tell a story, especially on a timeline, if you know what I mean by that. Between this and Daisy Jones and the Six, she's so talented. The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. I don't really think, I started tabbing it and then I stopped, so I obviously didn't like it, and the fact that I literally can't think of one thing to tell you about from this kind of drives that point home. November 9th by Colleen Hoover. I believe that I really liked this one, but I honestly can't remember much about it. It was okay, I guess. 5 Feet Apart. I had watched the movie. I freaking loved it. So I read the book and it is so beautiful. The movie does it great justice. If you have not read / watched, I would totally recommend. It was so good, so heartbreaking. Ugh, I loved it. Okay, we're gonna do this quick because this is a big series. Amazing. Even better. Pretty good. Way better. Okay, like this is her in the series. Okay, pretty okay. Where are we going with this? Seriously, where are we going with this? Did you really just waste my life with 3 freaking books that I shouldn't have read, and I should have just let the series end early because it would have been so much better, and now I'm traumatized because you ruined it with these last 3 books? Oh, and then the novella at the end, which literally the worst thing ever. The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. If you have not read this book, girl, what are you doing? It's so eye-opening. It's so beautiful. It's so unique. I love this book with everything in me. I want to find a special edition because of how much I love this book. It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. Not as good as the first one. I thought it was very boring. Things I Wish I Told My Mother. I found this book to be very beautiful. It tricked me. I was like under the impression that we were doing one thing and we ended up doing a whole other thing, but it was very good, very eye-opening, very real. It was very good. I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. So good. The only memoir that I've ever read, but it was beautiful. I loved it. Guy, I don't know how to say your last name, but you are very talented. Hidden Pictures was so good. It's the first book that I've read by Jason, and I need more of his stuff because the way this like grabbed me by the hair and ripped me out of a slump, literally not kidding. Like it got me out of the slump when I was in the deepest slump of my life. And I wish I had another one of his books because I'm currently in one and I don't see the light out of this tunnel. Rock Bottom by Dominic Wolf. Super cute. I would definitely recommend it. I enjoyed it. I don't really think about it a lot, but it was really cute. The Housemaid Trilogy by Frida McFadden. Fan-freaking-tastic. Literally had my jaw on the floor. I wanted every single book that she ever wrote. Not as good as the first one, but still good. Was not thrown off her scent. Was very pleased. this was like, girl, what did you just do to one of my favorite series? Like, come on now. It was, no. Million Kisses in Your Lifetime, Monica Murphy. Okay, I read this book like 2.5 years ago, and it was my favorite book when I read it. This book is really good, but it's not as great as I try to make it seem. It's very dirty and crazy. Slowest Burn by Sarah Chamberlain. I honestly, like, I know it had a really unique plot and something I had never seen before, but I can't remember what it was. But it was a cute book. It's not like I wouldn't recommend it, I just can't remember what it was about. True North by Karina Gaskill. If you're looking for something very, very, very quick and easy to read, a summer loving book, this is perfect for you. I read it so fast and I thought it was really cute. All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. This is one of my favorite Colleen Hoover books. I just love this couple, although they put me through hell. Like, it was very painful to watch, but I love them, so. This book, literally can't remember a single thing about it. Throttled by Lauren Asher. This is almost one of my most tabbed books. It was so good. This book got me into F1, started a new obsession. I really liked it. Honestly, this is my favorite Lauren Asher book to date, but I haven't read Love Unwritten yet, and I feel like that will take its spot. The Situationship by Abby Jimenez. Girl, can you make it a whole book instead of a novella? Like, please, I'm begging you, because it was so good. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book had me questionable at first. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I ended up loving it so much. This book is so beautiful. The story that it tells is so beautiful. The way that she tells it is gorgeous. It's absolutely stunning all around. If you have not read it, please do so. It was so good. This was my first hockey series by Elle Kennedy, the off-campus series, and it started my love for hockey. The Deal, really good. I loved Garrett and Hannah so much. I'm running out of room here. The Mistake, love this one even more. This is John Logan, and I love him with everything in me. He's just my favorite. I don't know why, but it's so good. The Score, this is Dean and Allie. Yes, see, I know my babies, man. I love them. They're so good. The Goal, this one was not as good. Sabrina and Tucker, I just felt very disconnected from them. I don't know why, but I did enjoy the book. And The Legacy by Elle Kennedy, I freaking hated this book. It just seemed like it wasn't even written by Elle Kennedy because these characters did not seem like these characters. You know, the ones that I fell in love with. It didn't seem right to me. I did not like this book. I wish I would have just left off with The Goal. Yeah. The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. This book made me literally giggle like a schoolgirl, just being back in this universe of the off-campus series and getting to see Garrett Graham and Hannah again. It was just such a gift and I freaking adored it so much. I love this book. I cannot wait to read the second one. Then I read 6 short stories, which are going to be the Improbable Meet Cute series on Kindle, and I found those very enjoyable. They're very quick, very short, very easy to read. I mean, if you need something, or you're trying to get out of a slump, or you're trying to catch up on a Goodreads goal, these are perfect because they're so fast and literally the easiest things to read, I mean. And then last but not least is going to be Verity by Colleen Hoover, which is also one of my favorite Colleen Hoover books because this thriller is just so good. And I cannot wait to see I think it's gonna be a movie adaptation, but I feel like it's going to be so good because this book just like had me addicted. I definitely want to do a reread of this one because it meant everything to me. I haven't read her in a while, so why not? Okay guys, I have a huge mess to clean up. I have 200 books to put back in their spot, so I think I'm going to go do that. Let you guys stew on this video. I hope it came out right. I know it was very quick. I felt like I flew through these, but at the same time, we touched on a lot. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really do because it was so much, but I had so much fun making it, so that's all that matters. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing week. Read amazing books. I gave you so many options. I'm sure you have so many options. So I will catch you guys next time. I can't close the camera, so we're gonna have to do it a lame way this time. So I love you. Read great books. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time.